Hello everyone, welcome to another week of the News Plus from Plus Agency. This channel is to use a very short amount of time, which is about 10 minutes, to summarize what has happened in the Sydney real estate market in the last week. If you like this sort of content, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and making sure that you click that like button and then the comment to give us some feedback about what you want to hear and are we doing the right thing. This live stream has brought to you from our flagship store at 418 Victoria Avenue in Chatswood. When the lockdown is finished, please come in and we'll show you some of the best property deals in Sydney, especially in the lower upper North Shore and the CBD market. Okay, with no further ado, let's get things started. This is another week and people are adapting into this whole lockdown situation. So there has been a lot of new way of purchasing properties, virtual inspections, one-on-one inspections, virtual online auctions. They're all going into this market as a new way, but looks like now is the normal way. So let's take a look what has happened through virtual online auctions and one-on-one inspection this week. And at the end of the video, we're gonna discuss about whether it's good to self-manage your property for rental needs or to actually appoint a professional agency and pay them an agency fee. So the first one is in Bondi. So Bondi Junction has always been really popular. The East has always been very popular. Bondi has not attracted crazy prices like what has happened in Double Bay, Point Pepper, Rose Bay, all these Vaucluse, all these areas, but it's still a very good place that people are paying a lot of attention to in nowadays, especially auction market. A 4-bedroom terrace, nonetheless, is also very rare in that location. So when something like that comes to the market, the property market goes to heat and people start to bid. So this particular terrace has sold to a local investor for $3.3 million at number 6 Rutherford Street in Bondi Junction. This is $400,000 more than the reserve price and $600,000 more than the price guide throughout the 4 weeks campaign. There's a lot of, this is the look of the actual terrace. You know, it's not a big one. It doesn't have a lot of really big courtyard. It's not a house, but it's still very wide frontage and very nice classic design. The back side of it has got a little bit of courtyard, which is very enjoyable. And then nobody have thought a normal terrace like this would have sold for $3.3 million. Even the agent themselves think about maybe around 2.8, 2.9. Which will be the right price point for this particular property, but you know the result blows everybody away. And then at the end of the day, the buyer really buys it because they like the school catchment. Woollahra Public School is a very good area. A lot of people were drawn to the property because of that school. So that prices has keep jumping, and then at the end of the day, this is absolutely a good result for the vendor, and it's a good investment for whoever buys it as well. There has been 535 properties due to go to the Hammer this weekend in Sydney, and then 551 auctions has been scheduled, and clearance rate this week has been over 90% in Sydney. All right. Bondi Duplex, again, Bondi. So this week is all about Bondi. We're gonna have a lot talk about in Bondi. Bondi Duplex cost $30,000 in 1985, has sold for $5.25 million. It's the Bondi one bedder attracts 27 bidders. It's a 1-bedroom house. Has attract 27 people who register bid over this property, and the end result was absolutely amazing. The vendor originally was somewhere around 4.25, and that was what the price guide was. And like any other auctions in the eastern suburbs at the moment, even though it's just a 1-bedroom, it's old, it doesn't have a really beautiful view or anything like that, it still gets sold at $5 million plus. All right, next one. Buyer settles into a new way of doing business in COVID landscape. So not only is happening in the east, it's actually happening in the north as well. So this particular one at 37A Arnold Street in Killara has been on the market for roughly about 5 months. And then during the 5 months time, The people are able to do open for inspections. You can do physical auctions. You can do group inspections, but that hasn't got this particular property sold. The one-on-one inspections during the lockdown period has got this property sold, and transaction that happened online as well. There are 260 group of people going through this property, and then finish up with about 400 inquiries, and then at the end of the day, the result hasn't been disclosed, but to be believed sold very close to its price guide, which is around very high 7 to low 8 million in that range. Beautiful property. It does need the buyer who knows about it to appreciate it, but Kilara, $8 million, very good results still. All right, renovated Mosman Trophy home sells for about 16 million in a super fast deal. So Lower North Shore, Mosman, this is a combination of great results and great prices. This one at 1D, Kirkswood Avenue in Mosman, has been another one that has been given away in a very short amount of time. With one-on-one inspections only, at the moment, that hasn't slowed down the market at all. The clearance rate for Lower North Shore, especially around Mosman area, has achieved 100%. Again, in the second week, continuing, as well as Northern Beaches, which is also 100% clearance rate, and that is absolutely just amazing about what has happened in this market. Looks like the upper end of the property market and the more expensive homes are the most popular one as well. Something with the view, something with the good land, something with absolutely wide frontage in the Lower North Shore areas like Mosman, or in the Northern Beaches, or even in the Upper North Shore, has always attracted the best buyers at the market at the moment. All right, going back to Kilara, this Grand Kilara estate sells for more than 10 million to a local family wanting a tennis court. So buyers who pay premium, not only Apex, not only people from overseas, but local buyers are very cashed out for the look of it at the moment as well. So something that's 10 million for Kilara, no problem. This big house has recently get sold through McGrath's Linfield, and even though the price cannot be disclosed, but it's definitely over 10 million and close to 11 million. There's a lot of interest, and this beautiful tennis court connected to the home, and magnificent landscaping and a very classic design has got the attention of some buyer who's really loaded with cash to buy into this property. There has been a lot of big sales happening in Kilara recently, and looks like the east, the Lower North Shore, the Upper North Shore, Northern Beaches are the places that people still paying premium on, following by the western area, which unfortunately at the moment, from next week onwards, we're going to an even more stricter lockdown, but it doesn't look like that has affected the house prices at all. All right, going back to Bondi Beach auction again. This MAFS star Martha and Michael are linked to this hot auction. This is for those who doesn't know what MAFS is. It's a reality show called Married at the First Sight. It's a show that has been going on for 5 seasons already, and those couples has been married at that program and then continue to live in Bondi apartments, but recently now they have decided to go out and buy their house. And then the house they're looking at is only about 500 meters away from the sand at Chamber Avenue in Bondi Beach. It's not a brand new house, it's a single level, very average looking normal house, but even that doesn't stop people from coming and bid for it. With increment between 50,000, 20,000, 5,000, at the end of the day, the property has been sold for 3.725 million. All right, next one. Now we talk about something a little bit further away from the CBD. So this particular property has breaked the Galston Estate record with, this is the look of the property. This is like an absolute dream home for a lot of people, with massive overspending across thousands square meters of land at 36 Crossline Road. And now The last time it was sold, it has broken the suburb record in 2008. Now it has been sold again, breaking the record prices. For those of you who doesn't really understand where this is roughly about 40 kilometers away from the Sydney CBD on the northwest side. When you reach Dural, keep going to north, keep going to west, then you'll reach this suburb in about 10 minutes time. So Galston has been known for its massive land, massive houses. As you can see from the aerial shot, it is like a farmland that you're buying. It is that grand. And then going back into the house with $20,000 fridge, a magnificent, beautiful kitchen, and then pool, granny flat, because you have enough land size to play with. This is absolutely amazing. And then the price has been over $5 million in that area. Is absolutely amazing results. This is the second time this property has broken the suburb record. It looks like it's not going to slow down at all. Alright, last thing, as we promised at the beginning, there's been an article online about whether it's good to manage the property by yourself or through professional real estate agents. This is talking about in the rental side of things. Obviously, we're not going to give you a yes/no answer, but obviously in the lockdown, what you need to do and what you need to care for about by managing the property yourself is, first of all, you need to be prepared to take control of everything, and that means absolutely everything. The paperwork, the fixing, obviously talking to the tenant, raising the dispute, collecting the rent, sending the statement, giving them the payment notice and all of that. You need to really make sure you're on top of everything, because in this particular market, especially during lockdown, there has been a lot of dispute, the demand on reducing rent all over the place as well. So this is actually a very tough time for DIY owners. Even though it's even tougher time for professional agency who have to deal with all these things. Yeah, but at this particular time, it's extra hard for those people who doesn't really be trained to do something like this. Passing on the paperwork is definitely a day-to-day job. Consider relationship means not only the relationship with the tenant, but also relationship with the builders, the contractors, because things does get broken down. And when that happens, someone to go there and check them out and fix everything. So that's why a lot of successful self-managing owners are either builder by themselves or someone from that sort of background who had experience to manage the company, also had experience dealing with all the builder and trees and making sure that everything is being attended at the first available time. And dealing with difficulties is definitely one thing you need to consider as well, especially at the moment. It is a very difficult time for both the landlord and the tenant. So whether to choose a professional agency or save that 5% management fee up to about 12% management fee is absolutely your choice. If this cross state, then definitely we would recommend you to find a professional agency to help out. If it is local, you had the expertise in it, no problem. If you don't, at this particular time, rather focus on the time on something that's a little bit more important, like spending time with the family or just study something to make yourself better in both mentally and health. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in for this particular episode of News Plus. This is Peter Lee. I'll see you next week.